Hey everybody, welcome to the Book Bar. It's Tuesday night. That means it's trivia night. I'm Justin. With me as always is my brother Tyler. Tyler, tonight is the first round, essentially, of our Star Wars trivia series. It is the only animated canon film, Star Wars The Clone Wars. It's your turn to answer questions, and I'm curious about how you're feeling today.
Little nervous, but still feeling good. I mean, obviously prepped hard, so I feel like I'm going to be dangerous as always, but it's probably the film I'm least familiar with. However, again, my preparation is world renowned, so I feel like I'm still going to have a good round, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, that hasn't been proven time and time again, I would say. So let's start off, as we always do, with our number one segment, What's on Tap? That has a double meaning, of course. It means that we talk about what we're going to be doing on the stream and what we're drinking. We are the BookBarBros. We obviously drink. We enjoy bars, right?
And that's so clever. And that's what, people come to expect from the BookBarBros is that level of cleverness. And only that level. No, not any more clever than that.
No cleverer than that. Yeah, no, that's all we got. So, Tyler, what are you drinking tonight?
Today I've got a Sheboygan Brewing Blood Orange Honey. Isn't this like what you drank last week?
It is, but that is not the same style.
Oh, it's not the same one?
Yeah. No, but it is Sheboygan. It was the Blood Orange Honey. It's a good beer.
Yeah, after I picked it up, I was like, oh, I think actually Justin drank that last week. It's got real blood, but it does have artificial orange and honey. But the real blood is a nice touch.
Nice. Welcome everybody that's popping on the stream. Pop Sith, Templar, Arcade Pop. Everybody, what's going on?
Everybody?
I am drinking. Yep. Okay. Yep.
No, please.
I'm drinking the blueberry lemonade shandy from Saugatuck Brewing. Nice. We got that right there. Got a couple of those guys, and as a backup, because it's not like I'm only going to drink one beer on the stream tonight,
that would be ridiculous.
I have some New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ales. Yeah,
we're going to be getting crunk up in here and playing some trivia. You guys are all in for a treat. It's going to be a fun one today.
It's going to be a fun one. So
we got Pop Sith in there already saying Zero the Hutt is Eric Cartman. The voice. I mean, that voice is really something. I was reading that it's actually supposed to be like Truman Capote, which I don't know.
You should just stop talking. You're going too far into the stream already. You're too far ahead of yourself.
All right. Sorry. All right. We won't talk anymore. I'll just. All right.
Okay. So, spoiler alert. Okay. So we need to update everybody on Tyler's perfect round. So if you guys will remember, I have offered up very generously my house to my brother if he were to get a perfect round. That meaning all 15 questions correct and the multi-part bonus question. Now, he has been close, very close on several occasions. And during the Rogue One round, I gave him a very difficult, probably unfair bonus question, which I then retroactively decided to award him credit for, right? And so Tyler was over this weekend, and we thought we should do the right thing. I mean, I lost. He earned my home. And so we decided to just shore that up. And luckily, right, Tyler, luckily somebody was there. We had a friend there with a cell phone who captured this. And so, it's just a little video clip on our cell phone. But we thought it was important to show it off, to show everybody that, we're serious about this. And this is serious business. So let's play that for you. Hello, everyone. I'm Justin from the Book Bar. With me, as always, is my brother Tyler. Now, if you'll recall, a few weeks ago, Tyler had a very near miss on a perfect round in one of our Star Wars trivia rounds. And he missed one question that was really my fault. It was an unfair question. And so I retroactively did the right thing, and I awarded him the win. Unfortunately, it cost me my house. And so, being a man of my word, which I am going to deed my house to my brother, congratulating him on his win, and we're going to do it live right now.
Yeah, if you could show everyone the deed, Justin, just to prove to them that this is real, this is not a joke.
Yeah,
we have his actual deed to his house that he will be signing over.
This is the deed. Obviously, you can tell this is a very real, very legally binding document. Yes. It's a real deed. Yep. The grantor is BookBar Justin to BookBar Tyler. And you can see right there clearly that this is a legitimate, real deed to my home. And so,
well, without further ado,
let's
sign this baby over. Let's get it in writing.
I have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I have to do the right thing.
There it is.
And that's it.
Okay.
There it is.
We did it.
And you can see my signature again. Very real. This is very real.
Okay.
And Tyler,
Well,
here's the deed. Congratulations.
thank you. And if you could go ahead and get out of my house.
What? Actually, can I use the bathroom real quick?
I think that'd be weird.
Well, yeah, but I mean... So there it is. We were lucky enough to have a friend there to capture that moment, but I did, in fact, take a very real, very legally binding document, and I executed it on camera.
Yep.
Now, you might be wondering why I'm still down in the book bar, and it's because my brother, gracious as always, agreed to lease me this space so that I could continue working and doing these live streams. So thank you, Tyler, for that.
You're very welcome. I did it at a very reasonable price, but obviously I still need to make a profit, so I did have to upcharge him a little bit. But still, I won Justin's house. We did it, everybody. You see that was completely legit. It's in writing. It was on a contract. We caught it all on video. So, I just want to thank everybody who believed in me, knew that I could have that perfect round. And I do want to thank Justin for being so gracious in acknowledging his unfair question. And so there we have it. I'm now in his residence. But I'm just renting out the basement to Jesse. I felt sorry for him, but there it is. So, when we make a bet, we're men of our words, right? We don't go back on it. We don't make up excuses. If he says, hey, my house is on the line for a perfect round, now I think it should be pretty clear to everybody that we mean it.
Absolutely. And thank you for allowing me to at least continue to do these streams in what was formerly my own home.
Yeah, that's my pleasure, buddy. And until I find someone willing to pay more, it's all yours.
And I don't blame you. That's the nature of the biz. So let's move right along into Frederick's fact check from last week. Tyler, why don't you go ahead and give everybody a quick rundown on who Frederick is, what he's doing, and then I'm curious to hear what he has to say about last week.
Absolutely. So Frederick is our world-renowned 6-time national fact-checking champion who goes over the previous stream for inaccuracies, and then he updates us on things that we might have said that were incorrect or wrong from last stream, just to make sure we're not misleading people each and every week. So here we go. This is what Frederick had to say about the stream last week. So first off, he says, after Tyler's co-hunt sting, he did not, in fact, receive well wishes, flowers, get well soon cards, giant teddy bears, or singing telegrams.
So you may have embellished that a little bit.
Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up, Frederick. Yeah, I was...
How did he even know that?
I was just trying to make it seem like people cared,
Oh, come on. Hey. No, come on. No, this is a happy stream. You want a house. You want a house, bud. Come on. No, none of that. Drink a beer.
I got this
Yeah,
one.
come on. Yeah. You can do this.
Okay,
and we can hear you. There you go.
Up next here, Just Frederick says the name of the war-torn planet where Han first met Beckett was Mimban, not Mambo Number 5, which was a Lou Bega song that actually won the International Song of the Year at the NRJ Music Awards 21 years ago. So
wow, 21 years ago. Now, who said Mambo Number 5? Was that you or was that somebody in the chat?
I believe that was someone in the chat, and we accepted it as a legitimate answer. Yeah, and
Okay.
But it turns out that is not correct according to Frederick, and he's a straight shooter. Next up, just here, I used the word eponymous in one of my questions because I like to be fancy.
I recall.
And it turns out, we speculated on what the word meant. Sometimes I'll just throw big words in there. I don't really know what they mean. And you said you were pretty sure it meant reading backwards. And I corrected you and said it's actually the ability to start fires with your mind. Frederick says neither of those are correct. When you're referring to a thing using the word eponymous, it just means named after a particular person. So an example would be Seinfeld's eponymous hit TV series, or in the context of my question, Lando Calrissian's eponymous book. So, there we go. A little vocab lesson for y'all.
Yeah,
and
it's good to educate as well. The more you know. Am I right?
Yeah. Right, and that really leads us into this one here. So a few weeks ago, as everyone knows by now, right? I mean, I was stung by a Kohan, the centipede-like things that tried to assassinate Padme Amidala, and we discussed how I survived such a deadly sting. And it looks like Frederick actually took some issues with the things we mentioned. So we just want to clear that up real quick. So
really?
Yeah. So Frederick says here, you should not, quote, always urinate on your wounds. Nor should you, when in a crisis situation where you've been bitten or stung by something, quote, pee first and ask questions later. In fact, he says that peeing on wounds or insect stings of any kind is never advised. This includes jellyfish stings.
Never now. I've seen movies that say you definitely pee on jellyfish stings. You're telling me he says no?
Yeah, that's been shown in movies, TV shows. Famously, Friends had it, and that's actually not advised. So many people are under the impression that peeing on a jellyfish sting is a prudent action, but peeing on these stings can actually increase pain rather than alleviate it, because the salt levels in urine cause the jellyfish nematosis, the tiny like venomous harpoons that are stuck in your skin after a sting, to release more venom. So instead, one should use vinegar on a jellyfish sting, as it helps to deactivate the nematosis that haven't fired. So in summary, he says, peeing on your wounds is not, as Tyler said, rule number 1. So so there we have it. You know, you live, you learn, and we learned something today.
Well, I think we both did. And thank you, Frederick. That's good information, not just for us, but for anyone who may have relied on the, not really advice we gave, but, on what we said in passing. And so thank you, Frederick, for clearing that up. Yeah. We definitely don't want people out there unnecessarily urinating on wounds. Right. So great.
Indiscriminately because they heard it on the BookBarBros.
Yes.
But so that's why we have Frederick, to clear up things like that. So thank you, Frederick. All right, Just that brings us to our next segment here.
Moving right along. So this week's apology, for those of you that don't know, Tyler and I have an apology segment because one of us usually does something stupid, says something offensive throughout the stream the previous week. And unlike most people in today's world, we like to make things right. And so now for weeks now, maybe even a month or two, Tyler and I have been talking about new content. And right now, really, we are only releasing these Tuesday night lives. And then we've been releasing little clips and shorts, on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and all the social media platforms, except Twitter, which we despise. So, we are releasing a joint apology for that today. Tyler and I are both together apologizing to everybody for the delay, but we have some exciting news. And in fact, breaking news, the BookBar Brothers are officially launching their own Star Wars news network. That's right. We will be,
you heard it here first,
the galaxy's most trusted source. And when I say trusted, I mean, in air quotes, the most trusted Star Wars news source out there. We have formally incorporated. We're putting together a production team right now, Tyler. We're looking at office space, and we are hoping to release our first news show in about 2 weeks, and that will be in addition to this show.
Yep. Yeah, we've got a crack shot team, just a bunch of experts in all different fields relevant to Star Wars. It's going to be something special. And we wanted to tell you guys today, before all the major networks got a hold of this and it really started blowing up, we wanted our biggest fans to know it right from the horse's mouth that we are indeed starting a news network. We're going to cover all of the Star Wars news that happened in the previous week. Star Wars news that's happening with shows being created, with drama going on in the Star Wars community, with upcoming events. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to just give you the cold, hard facts, as you've come to expect from the BookBarBros.
Yes.
So it's going to be a real treat, and we are excited to have you all check it out. Like Justin said, we're scouting locations. We got a good one picked out, I think. But yeah, about 2 weeks we should be on the air with our first news broadcast. So I can't wait for you all to see it.
This is very exciting. We are very excited about it.
Very excited.
Just think this is going to be. We're thinking of last week tonight with John Oliver. Only there'll be two of us, and we're not British. Right. I mean, but essentially, yeah. And only Star Wars. The same thing. And essentially the same thing. And it's only Star Wars. So we are looking forward to that. More information to come soon. Without further ado, that means it's trivia time. Right. This is the last canon Star Wars movie that we'll be covering in this turn. Before next week, we take kind of a fun break.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing Spaceballs, the Star Wars parody, the Mel Brooks film. Tyler's going to be prepping questions for me, and I am very excited to answer questions about Spaceballs. I like it. Is just it's one of the best parody movies I think ever. It's just such a great parody movie. So, but tonight is the Clone Wars. Tyler is up. Before we get into Book Bar trivia, as always, Tyler, would you do everyone at home who's not familiar with how this works a favor and explain it to them? How does this work?
With pleasure. Book Bar Trivia, or Jedi Jeopardy as we like to call it, consists of 3 rounds, 5 questions each. The first round is the Padawan level. These questions are where Star Wars fans who watched the movie recently should have a very good shot at getting these questions correct. The second round is the Jedi Knight level. These questions are much more difficult and require much greater attention to detail to have a shot at these questions. The third round is the Jedi Master level. Only the most diehard of fans will have a chance in this round, as things said in a passing breath or even questions that require supplemental reading are fair game for this round. Then we top it all off with a bonus round that consists of multiple questions and multiple parts to see how deep the person can go on a particular topic. And as always, we encourage chat to participate in the trivia. Right answers, wrong answers, misleading answers, absurd answers, which is mostly what the answers are. And we can always use chat for help, but of course, we have to sift through all the nonsense to do so. And that is Book Bar Trivia. We look forward to playing with you. Here we go.
Tyler, well done. Are you ready for question number 1 in the Padawan level?
Let's see. Let's do this, man.
Here we go. Question number 1. Anakin and his adorable new Padawan, Ahsoka, have these nicknames for each other throughout the film.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, I never understood Anakin's reaction when she gave him the nickname, right? I felt like it was a bit of an overreaction, right? So she says, and I'll ruin the first one for you, you're stuck with me, Sky Guy. And he's like, what? What did you say? What did you call me? Like, he's just ready to throw down right there.
He was very angry about it.
Right. And I'm like, wow. I mean, it seems like a pretty innocuous nickname, if ever there was one. Like, Sky Guy, you're Skywalker. You're also, like, notoriously a great pilot. Like, honestly, it's a pretty good nickname for you.
Yeah, I would agree.
As opposed to the one he gave her, which is, of course, Snips, which means because she is snippy. So, of course, the correct answer are, what are Sky Guy and Snips?
That is correct. It is not droid, as Templar Pops does. It's not droid.
It's not droid. We do have Pops in there with the correct
Pops
answer, Sky Guy.
It, right? Sky Guy. Well, he says Snipes. That's a typo.
Yep, he's thinking of Wesley Snipes, the guy from Blade.
Oh, but he corrected it. He corrected it with the star. He got it
there. Correct.
Pops got that one. So there you go. Congrats, Tyler. You are 1 for 1 in the Jedi Padawan level. Let's move right along. Question number 2. The opening battle sees Obi-Wan and Anakin somewhat stranded on this planet without reinforcements.
Indeed. Yeah, kind of a long battle sequence to start this one off here.
Very long. It almost seemed like the whole movie was going to take place there.
Right, yeah. And, well, it was supposed to be just the first episode. Like, if I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to be like the whole movie is like 4 episodes of what was supposed to be the first season of the Clone Wars. They just kind of like stitched together, which is why you see some pacing issues with that kind of stuff. And like characters introduced when there's only like 20 minutes left in the movie, which is a bit strange, but it's because they were supposed to make an appearance in later episodes instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, I know this one, totally prepared for this. We're in the Crystal City, I believe is what this was called on this particular planet. Does anyone in the chat know this one? Doesn't matter, because I do. And I will tell you what it is, Justin. What is Christophsis?
That is correct. It is Christophsis. Right. Yes.
There we go. Moving right
correct. Christophsis is the correct answer. You are 2 for 2. Moving right along. Jedi Padawan level. Question number 3.
All right.
The plot of the movie revolves around the Republic and the Separatists fighting for Jabba the Hutt's permission to use these.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess I feel like a few acceptable answers here. Are you looking for something in particular?
No, it's called multiple things. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say, I feel like I know what this is, right? It's in the Outer Rim. They need these particular routes, right? And
Maybe.
so
I don't know.
you don't? Well, then this is how are you even going to know if I get it right?
I'm going to Google it.
Okay, so Pops says trading routes. But I guess that's kind of right. Like shipping routes, trading routes, I would say are like acceptable answers, right? So it's they want control of I guess didn't they call them shipping lanes?
Well, a shipping lane could be anywhere for any reason.
Well, shipping lanes in the outer rim.
But there's something a little more unique about this, I would say. That these lanes, they're not just shipping lanes. I mean, that's essentially right. But
are you looking for like hyperspace route?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. It is essentially, yes. It's their hyperspace lanes. It's their... Right. That's what it is. So hyperspace lanes that the Hutts control in the outer rim, not just a shipping lane. They use them for shipping. They can use them for running, but you need the Hutts' permission to use their hyperspace lanes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to say, I knew that one, that just a little ambiguous as to exactly what you were looking for there. But hey, we got it. We're cruising right along. No problems whatsoever.
All
Got
right. It. Question number 4. Jabba's little punky muffin's real name is this.
All right. I was wondering if Punky Muffin was going to be a trivia question.
Of course, Punky Muffin's going to be a trivia question, but I decided to do it the other way around.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. So I figured that one might come up. Comes up in the question. He's got many names throughout this, right? He's called Punky
several
Muffin
things
here. Yep. He gets called a nickname by good old Snips as well.
He does.
And then
many nicknames. It felt like a Marvel movie. Just everybody had a nickname in this movie.
Right, I know. Oh, and we got Popsit in there too. Of always one of the strongest competitors in the chat. Says Rotta, and that is the correct answer. What is Rotta? Another fitting name, right? It's supposed to be kind of smelly and rot. I mean, it's very fitting, very serendipitous.
It is very fitting, and it is also very correct. Well done. You are 4 for 4 in the Jedi Padawan. Again, if you're just popping in right now, these are the easy questions. These are the easier questions. They will get more difficult as the game progresses. Moving right along, question number 5, the final Padawan level question. Tyler, are you ready?
I'm ready.
This Dathomirian female Sith assassin was tasked by Dooku to either capture, that says of, it should say, or kill Jabba's son.
Terrible mistake. Horrible. Well, who?
Look at that. Hold on. No, I'm going to edit this because I just can't live with that.
Unacceptable mistake.
Goodness.
My goodness.
Critical reading is one of my skills, so that is just not good. That's not good.
It's that, and he puts that on his resumes. Critical reading, Word, and Excel.
People skills.
You're right. Yeah, people skills. He just puts a bunch of lies. He has no idea how to use any of those things.
Interpersonal skills. I think that's what people put on their resume.
And I mean, I would never make a typo mistake like that. For instance, like misspelling the name of a planet or something like that. I would never do such a thing.
No, you never would.
I'm asking the questions.
Something tells me Frederick's gonna catch that.
I don't know what you're referring to.
We'll see.
But yeah, no, I demand excellence and perfection in my question writing, so I would never make such an egregious error. Of course, Templar Pops is on the board.
Templar believes he has scored and answered a question correctly.
Wow.
Tyler, do you agree?
Holy I mean, this is a big day. Mark this day on your calendars, folks, because Templar Pops, you got it, buddy. It is Asajj Ventress is the correct answer. Very cool. I love the lightsabers, the kind of curved lightsabers that connect together with the weird formation. Really cool. Pretty neat. Love to see that in live action with that. All right. And that's it. I mean, that's the Padawan level. That's how it's supposed to look. Just a nice breezy walk in the park. And that's how we made it look.
Absolutely. You cruised right along. Well done. Before we move on to the Jedi Knight questions, as always, we'd like to remind everybody that we are now on Patreon. We have 5 tiers available. And as always, we'd like to give a shout out to everybody who's a patron. All of our nerd level 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I got to remove the banner. I always do that. And of course, our council members, our high tier patrons, Funko Kings and Templar Pops. We love all you guys. there are people in the chat. Pop Sith is a patron, and a lot of other people in the chat are patrons. We set a new goal that if we get to 25 patrons, we'll start doing a monthly Q&A where the patrons can ask us questions, and we'll come on once a month and answer the questions live. So once we get there, more new content. We just need more patrons, that's all. But everybody who has signed up, we appreciate it so much. We love you guys. Thank you. And of course, link will be in the description if you are interested in supporting us.
There it is.
Well said. Thank you.
Very well said. Absolutely. I have to imagine people around the world are opening up their checkbooks right now.
No.
We're going to be just swimming in patrons after that.
I'm just like that guy from Wolf of Wall Street.
Exactly.
What's Leonardo Dicaprio's name?
A sociopath. That's what you...
Sociopath.
Yeah.
I'm just like a sociopath.
Yeah, just
a homeless sociopath.
Yeah. What a great movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, absolutely hilarious in that role, and based on a true story. And I heard the guy who was in it. They asked him like, "How true is that? Did they embellish it?" And he's like, "Honestly, they left out some of the funniest parts because it was too much."
It was a little too much,
right? Because it was a little too much. All
right,
right,
we have a couple Sith on the council, but yeah.
We definitely have. I think we're more Sith than Jedi at this point. They're taking over. Like I thought there was a rule of two thing. There could be only two, but I feel like we have more Sith than that already.
It really seems that way.
So
yeah, it definitely seems that way. All right, moving on to the Jedi Knight. These are a little more difficult questions. Some of them could be quite difficult. Both of us missed Jedi Knight questions. So are you ready to see what you got here, Tyler?
All right, let's give it a try.
Question number 6. This Hutt, Jabba's eccentric uncle, was involved in the plot to kidnap Jabba's son. He was also based on Truman Capote, but you just couldn't shut your mouth at the beginning of the stream, could you?
Who could this be? Who could this be? I know. Based on Truman Capote, they really kind of did Capote dirty with that character.
At the beginning of the stream, Pops said his name, and then you brought it up, and I'm like, damn it. And then you went on to bring this fact up, and I'm like, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah, of course I'm going to look that up. It's funny because I brought that up because, Pops mentioned that he thought he sounded like, Eric Cartman doing like an accent to do the voice, and I was cracking up. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that voice sounds so distinct. Like, who were they trying to, like, who was doing that? What is that supposed to be based on? And then I read, Truman Capote is what they were going for. And why, I don't know, and why they would play the character like that. A bit strange. Bit lacking in taste, I'd say, but tis what it is.
All right, so this Hutt, Jabba's eccentric uncle, was involved in the plot to kidnap Jabba's son, based on Truman Capote. Tyler, which Hutt are we talking about?
Who is Zero the Hutt?
Who is Zero the Hutt is correct. You remain perfect in the Clone Wars. All right. This is the one it seems like people in the Schmodown struggle with too. So
it's definitely most people in the Star Wars competitions, their least watch for most of them. Because even though a lot of people love the series, right? The series being some of their favorite. Typically, the Clone Wars movie isn't people's favorite. And in fact, you talk to people who are big fans of the show, they honestly find the movie to be a poor introduction to how good the show gets, especially like in the later seasons and stuff. So yeah, this is definitely a bit of a rough patch for most Star Wars trivia competitors. But you don't see it on the Schmodown
too much. You really don't see their questions pop up very often.
So not a ton. And they're normally some of the more basic questions, I think, given that. But I have a feeling that will change. If you look at the level of competition in Star Wars trivia nowadays, they're going to have to start pulling deeply from this too. Yep. So they don't really have a choice. Yep.
Yeah. All right. We're rolling right along. He's 6 for 6. Question number 7. A coincidental call from this character ended up saving Padme, as it was able to call for help to rescue the senator from Zero before she could be killed.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Another interesting scene, because how do the droids not know what those are? Right? Like, how living in that world, how is it possible they didn't know? And they're like, what is this thing? Like, haven't you seen that they're literally everywhere in that world? People are using them all the time, and they think it's dangerous, and so they turn it on. I don't know about this. I bought everything else in the movie, but it's this thing.
Just not that. Everything, that's where you draw the line.
That's just a pill that's too hard to swallow, is how the droids don't know what that is,
If Ryan George were here with us and you asked Ryan, how do they not know? And he'd say, because,
exactly.
Because. So the movie can happen. That's the
Yeah, but obviously this was a call from...
Is it a he? Is it a she? Is it an it? Is it both?
So you thought that would be too much of a giveaway if if you said like, oh, but if I say he, like then he's gonna know it. But if I'm a little more, if I'm a little more subtle here, then there's no possible way Tyler's gonna get it by doing that. Like this is gonna really throw him off. I would say getting a call from Sorry.
Yes, it's Sorry. That's right.
That is the name of a board game made popular back in, God, what was it, 70s, 80s? How old is that game?
I think it's an old game.
It is an old. We are in agreement that the game is old. The correct answer, Justin, is C-3PO. Who is C-3PO?
That is correct. The answer is C-3PO. Well done. You're holding your own in the Clone Wars so far. You're doing pretty well. If we ever want to get drafted into the Schmodown Entertainment Network, join that Star Wars division so we can take on people like Star Wars Explained and, Alex Damon and Molly Damon and all those guys over there, Andrew DiMolanta. We need to know this stuff. We got to know Clone Wars. We got to know Clone Wars. And so far, you are performing admirably. Templar, don't be so hard on yourself.
Hey,
but essentially, right now, you're pretty useless to Tyler at least.
Oh, sure, with trivia, yes,
with trivia,
but
you're general,
you're a good guy. That is not true at all, Templar, and
human cyborg relations.
Human cyborg relations, indeed.
Tyler, 7 for 7. Question numero ocho. That means 8. If you don't speak Espanol,
that means 8. Yeah, gonna make sure that you don't want the audience to be lost here. Just so ocho means 8.
During their Tatooine duel, Dooku slashes Anakin's backpack, thinking he killed Rotta. But the pack was actually filled with these.
Oh, yes.
I tried to get a little clever in my question asking.
Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is one where, you could maybe be tripped up on this if you haven't seen it in a while. Like, what was it specifically that he had it filled with? But having watched it recently in preparation, this is no problem whatsoever.
No problem at all, huh? Okay, you're feeling very confident. Very confident.
Yeah, no big deal here. Because then he sends his Padawan off to do a very important task, having just met her and thinking that she's not ready for these tasks and that she's reckless. He gives her a task in which everything hinges on, which seems a bit reckless in its own regard. So, but yeah, the correct answer is of course
Funko Pops.
Funko Pops, right? And it was a whole series of Funko Pops, and it's really too bad because
they were really damaged.
Some limited editions in there, some really good stickers on a few of those, and just ruined by Dooku, who didn't care at all, which is really
he does not collect. He's not a collector, so he doesn't care. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. Is all I'm saying. Yeah, Dooku doesn't understand about.
Well, you could tell that he wasn't a collector when they rolled out and you see all these gorgeous Funko Pops and they're all just decapitated, just strewn across the sand. Anakin is devastated, right? And Dooku is just saying he doesn't even care. It doesn't even register with them. But that's why he's on the dark side, right? He's callous, right? Doesn't care about destroying such a beautiful collection that Anakin had there. But it is what it is. And the correct answer is, of course, I believe it's just rocks. What are rocks?
What are rocks is correct. The answer is rocks is what was in that pack that Dooku sliced up. And if I were Anakin, I know he doesn't like sand. We all know he doesn't like sand.
Wait, what? I haven't heard this.
But it's like... He's lugging a bunch of rocks. That seems like that's unnecessarily heavy in the desert. You know what I mean? But
and honestly, pointless. Like
why could have just been. Why did he just have nothing in there? Yeah,
right. Because like if he had nothing in there, you think Dooku's going to see him and be like, that that backpack doesn't seem heavy enough. Like, if I were to gauge Rotta's weight and looking at that backpack and how it's moving, I would say that backpack is empty.
Instead, you have like what, 30 pounds of rocks in there?
Right. It seems like honestly more rocks than Rotta would have weighed. But sometimes, like we've talked about, Justin, in a crisis situation, you just act. Okay, that's right. We mentioned maybe peeing on things, but in this case, he's apparently just like, okay, you take Rotta, I'll put a bunch of rocks in here. Let's not really think about if that makes any sense. We'll just get going. So, hey.
And apparently it's not good information either, what we were spreading. So
apparently not. Frederick, correct us on this, but that's okay. I've peed on a few wounds in my day, and sure, I've gotten some infections and some things have gone wrong, and now I'm enlightened. I've realized
it makes sense. So. Yeah, that there is a correlation between those two things.
Yeah. So it's nice that there's still room for growth in life,
There is. And you are now 8 for 8, my friend. Okay. You are 8 for 8. We're moving right along, trying to get through a Jedi Knight questions, but maybe I've got a little trick up my sleeve here. Question number 9. Speaking of Rotta, he was actually with Ahsoka, who narrowly defeated this many MagnaGuards outside Jabba's palace without her master's help. I feel like that needs to be thrown in there.
It's true because even though it just seems like another droid, which the Jedi just
are not just another droid,
right? MagnaGuards are a different breed, IG 100s, I believe they are, and with their electro staffs. Which can actually repel lightsabers and stuff, and actually even the staff itself. I forget what it's made out of. I don't think it's Beskar, but it's something that's supposed to be like a really dense material that can actually withstand like a few lashes from a lightsaber, and then of course the electro staff itself can actually on the ends deflect a lightsaber, making them very tough competitors. So no easy feat, and she did it. So that should be.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive. I was just going to say we have some answers in the chat. Pop Sith says 4, a very reliable source of information. Unboxing Treasures says Lucky 13. Unboxing Treasures, what's going on? Patron of the channel as well. Check him out. He has his own YouTube channel. So does Pop Sith. Templar has a YouTube channel as well. Go check all those guys out. And Templar says 66. I feel like that would have been quite a task for Ahsoka to take on 66 MagnaGuards. But hey, it's a numbered Templar, and you're really narrowing down your answers though. So you were close.
There it goes. I was going to say my audio suddenly just popped up there, but okay, I think it's fixed now.
I can hear it. Yep.
Okay, it got super loud on me. So Popsith says 4, which has got me a little nervous because Popsith is a very strong competitor, and I thought I knew this right away, but I thought it was 3. Unboxing Treasure says 13. Templar Pop, I'd remember if it were 66. That would seem like a lot to where that scene, I think I'd remember if it were that many. I don't think that's correct.
I will tell, here you go. I will tell you, one of you are right.
Right. I mean, it's either me or Popsith because there's only a few. But man, I'm almost positive it's 3. I'm going to say, what are 3?
Popsith, Tyler didn't believe you.
Oh no! Seriously?
And it's a good thing he didn't because he is right. It is 3 MagnaGuards.
Oh, okay.
4. Oh man, I should I should just like Venmo Popsith like $5 to like get one so close but wrong every now and then just to trip you up.
Oh my god, just to feed me the wrong answer.
Popsith almost got you. And I can't tell if that was genuine, if I genuinely got you and you almost thought you had it wrong. I think I might have got you.
It's not like I specifically studied that. I just like remembering, I was like, I think it's 3. And so right when you said it, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was 3 of them. But then it was Popsith saying 4 that made me nervous. Because again, like we talk about, he's a very strong competitor in the chat all the time. So I'm like, maybe I misremembered. But having watched it so recently, in preparation for this, I just felt like I had to trust my gut there, which said 3. So, okay, dodged a bullet there, feeling good. That would have been pretty devastating if Pops had literally gave me the right answer and I decided not to go with it. So, I'm feeling good. All right.
So you are 9 for 9. You are 1 question away from a perfect Jedi Knight round. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
This Kirkoidan general served during the battle on Christophsis and accepted Obi-Wan's fake surrender.
Yeah, no problems here. Right when you said Kirkoiden, because I learned the species of this particular general.
Just in case that was the question.
And just in case his species came up as well. The picture I have in my head for his species, Jess, is
I really don't think I want to know. Is this something you can say on the stream?
This is great. We'll have to bleep a few things, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so he's got this person bent over. No, he doesn't.
Okay.
So he's by a koi pond, and he's next to someone named Mark Kerr. Mark Kerr was a famous MMA fighter back in the day. He's called the Smashing Machine. A lot of people probably wouldn't know who he was, but he was a just dominant force back in the day. And so Kerr falls into the koi, so Kerr koid, and then there's a den in there that I picture exactly like the picture of a den I used for one of your trivia questions on the solo stream, and he swims into the den. So it's Kirkoiden. Boom. And that's how I remember what species he is. And of course, this general is General Loathsome, which is what he is.
He is loathsome, and he is in fact General Loathsome. That is correct. People probably think we're insane when we give too much information away about like how we remember things, but these memory tricks, we say it all the time on the stream, they work, and we try to only give small examples every now and then. I think I did the Summa Verminoff to explain how I remember that.
Exactly.
But eventually, once you have that picture in your mind, you just don't forget it anymore. You just can't forget the answer. You can't.
Right.
So,
like me forgetting his species now, having that picture in my head, it's just not going to happen. He's a Kirkoiden, because I'm picturing Mark Kerr falling into the koi pond that Michael Scott fell into, and then swimming into that beautiful picture of a den that I've given you before. So I'm just always going to remember his species. And yeah, the name Loathsome always just kills me. It's like, why don't you just call him General Bad Guy?
Loathsome is a little less on the nose, I think, but it's still pretty close.
It's pretty close. Yep. All right. What do we got?
Well, you're perfect through 10. Quick break before we get into the Jedi Master questions.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't already, go down, give this thing a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and share this thing around. Help us build this thing up.
Please
Let's get 100, 200, 1,000 people in these streams. Let's blow it up and have a great time. So share it around. We greatly appreciate it.
My kids need to eat, and I don't feed them unless we get enough likes, shares, and subscribes.
That's true.
Please do so for my kids' benefit, right? Because if we don't hit the number I'm looking for, they don't eat. So if you care about kids, please like, share, and subscribe. They'd really appreciate it, and so would we.
Yes, because if we don't get enough likes or subscriptions, I don't give my kids milk with their cereal. They get water. And so they don't like that. So please give my kids milk with their cereal.
Right. Does he have milk? Sure. But it's just a way to try to incentivize people to like, share, and subscribe. So, yeah.
To help my kids.
Yep.
All right, Tyler. We're into the Jedi Master questions. And for those of you we're moving right along tonight. Tyler and I talked about the length of these videos. And we do think sometimes they drag on a little long. So we're trying to keep them a little tighter. We're trying to keep things moving. We don't want to take up too much of people's time. So, we're thinking more like in the hour and 15-minute range is probably a better time for these rather than maybe an hour and 30 minutes, but not 2.5 hours. So we are trying to keep these things moving.
Yeah, we want to keep them a little tighter. Because before we started rattling on at the end of these, and we'd go till 2.5, 2:45 going into the trivia competition.
And then we'd go back and watch it and we'd be like, we were being very boring. So we're just trying to keep this thing, keep this thing going.
Nice and tight. Yep.
Especially for those who really want to see Tyler's signature sign-offs, which are a staple, and we don't want to make you guys have to wait an hour for that. So
world famous
because they're infamous. They're more than famous.
They are infamous. That means they're infamous.
They're more than famous.
They're infamous.
Name that movie. What's that from?
Wow, of course I know that movie. The Three Amigos.
It is The Three Amigos.
The Three Amigos. I loved that movie when I was a kid. I had the classic VHS, and this one was one of those like fancy plastic hardcovers.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I used to watch that movie all the time. All right.
All right, Jedi Master level. Question number 1. Are you ready?
Let's do this. I'm actually feeling pretty good.
You're 10 for 10. This octopus-like ship model was seen at the beginning of the film, headed to Tatooine to kidnap Jabba's son.
Got it. Okay, I was a little worried. I remember checking this one time, but I blinked a second, but I think I've got it. It's exactly
Okay, because you went from like, oh no, to yep, just like that.
Yeah. Well, because I blinked on it for a minute. Went, oh no, because I can picture it right away. They're kind of red, have like the tentacle looking things. I remember it goes and like snatches one of the skiffs right in the beginning. And I even thought like, oh, that could make a good question. Like what, grabs it. And I looked it up one time, but that was like the first time I watched it sometime last week. And then I just totally forgot to look at it again, but it popped in my head. I'm pretty sure because I've got a picture of something, and Unboxing Treasures says the SSO Kraken. That could be it. Templar Pop says a laser disc. He might be referring back to the Three Amigos reference we made. Yeah. So Templar, you had the Three Amigos on laser disc too? Wow.
He bought it 2 years ago. He's got a laser disc.
Yeah. Right. He went to like, they have record shops, they have laser disc shops. They are not doing well. I think it's the pandemic. I'm not sure.
They're really struggling.
But they are really hurting. So, support your local laser disc shop if you can. Go in there, buy a few laser discs.
Jedi John's in the chat, and he says a squiddly diddly.
A squiggly diddly would have been a fitting name for it. That's probably what they should have called it. That could have been General Loathsome, somebody, and then they got the squiddly diddlies flying around. But Pop Sith actually said Trident. I believe it's like it's called like a Trident class, right?
It is a Trident class assault ship. So yes, I will accept Trident as a correct answer. Yes.
Wow. Correct. Look at that. And I was super proud of myself for pulling that one. Well done, Pop.
Yeah, good job, you guys. And Jedi John and Templar and Unboxing Treasures, thanks for playing.
But you are the weakest link. Goodbye. And then we just pull a lever and you're all fall through.
Okay. I always tell my wife, who rarely laughs at many of my jokes, that if there was like 12 me's and like 6 Tylers around, this entire room would be cracking up.
Oh, we'd just
and instead, it's just me and her, and I smile, and she just stares at me.
But she keeps you humble, Justin. That's why you love her.
Right? Yeah. When you get over 1,000 subscribers, life changes, and you really got to keep yourself grounded. You got to keep yourself grounded.
Exactly, man. I feel like people are recognizing me on the street all the time. Once you hit
all the time, yes.
It's just too much, though. I'm constantly signing autograph. I have carpal tunnel in my wrist from it, and that's what it's from, Justin. I don't want you to think it's from anything else.
Yes, it's from signing too many autographs.
It's from signing too many autographs because once we hit over 1,000 subscribers, it's nonstop. So. Yeah, it's
all right. Well,
it's quite something.
Tyler, you are 11 for 11.
Wow.
Here's your next Jedi Master question. Are you ready for this one?
Oh yeah, and I'm going to open another beer to celebrate it.
Here we go. You do it, and I'll read the question while you crack that beer. I'm going to be cracking another beer here shortly too.
Okay.
This protocol droid served as Jabba's interpreter throughout the film, including when Obi-Wan went to negotiate with the Hutt upon Rotta's kidnapping.
Absolutely. Yep. Great.
You're
question.
Shaking your head like you got this one.
Oh, no problems there. Whatsoever. Okay. Yeah, I right away saw the protocol droid, was like, yep, got to know their name. There's actually a few questions. I wonder if you're going to give me here. We got a few left in the normal round, but then we obviously have the notoriously difficult bonus, so we'll see. But there's one question that happens in Jabba's palace that actually took me a bit to look up. And I'm like, oh man, that could make a good question, but it's very difficult. So we'll see. But I tried to make sure I felt really strong about the things that happened within his palace. And so one of them was knowing this protocol droid that I believe I know. Man, Pop says is just on fire today. He's just so... Pop says, when was that that trivia competition you mentioned? Did that already happen, or is that going to happen? Because I'm curious. Because man, you have been just so strong for weeks now, man. Because I believe he's been killing it. Because I believe what he hasn't. Let me double check the picture in my head here. Yeah, he's absolutely correct. Wow. The correct answer is TC70. Who is TC70?
Who is TC70 is absolutely correct. You and Popsith are both on fire tonight.
Oh, well done.
Nice. Man. So Unboxing Treasure says that he has not seen this movie. And then the little quote as he ducks and hides. Tyler, just remember, don't rely on Unboxing Treasures to ask you question.
Yeah, okay. Mental note.
Unboxing Treasures, change your name and your face real quick to like something that looks like Pop Sith, and then jump on and make some ridiculous answers.
Yeah, quick, run to the Secretary of State, get your name changed, do a face-off style swapping of your face, and then come back on and keep typing in the chat with your normal avatar, and I'll have no idea what just happened.
Okay.
So
Tyler.
it's gonna make it difficult for you to provide good answers if you haven't seen the movie a single time. But hey, that's okay.
That's true. Very true.
Bob Sith trivia was last Saturday, and he was the champ. They said
Really?
they thought it was George Lucas in disguise.
Nice, Bob Sith. Congratulations,
man.
Buddy. That's so awesome. You know,
Yeah, you deserve it, man.
we have done other trivia competitions like at bars. Tyler and I, short diatribe here. We did a pub trivia at The Office. We both love The Office at a place in Grand Rapids where we live. And there was like 50 teams. This bar was packed. Teams were standing outside. They had, microphones everywhere. And we got one question. Well, we got two questions, but everybody got that one wrong. And we finished second out of 50.
We were devastated.
We were devastated. And we did win money, though. We won like $200 or something.
Because we were drinking all night. It actually covered all of our taps.
It did. We just paid for our whole table's tab.
Which is really nice. Yeah.
Then, like a year later, we went to the Detroit Comic-Con, or Motor City Comic-Con, because we live in Michigan. And we signed up for the Office trivia. And again, we finished second. We botched a question that we knew, and we gave like a half answer, and they didn't give us credit when they were giving other people credit for garbage half answers the whole time. Right. And we were like kind of like upset about it, and we finished second again. So we've never done like any Comic-Con trivia competitions.
Yeah, and that one we did like at it was at the Comic-Con. But hosted by, I forget who was hosting that. But that's
Sparkle or something maybe.
Yeah, but that was the important note. Is throughout the night there were some answers people were giving. We're like, oh my goodness, how did they give them credit for that? Like we gave the full exact answer, and they're kind of giving like half answers, and they're okay, and we're like, okay, so fine, that they're a little more lenient. And so then on one particular question, we think we know it. But like we'll give a more general answer because they're being so wishy-washy that it'll just ensure that we get it right because we know that it's this general thing. And they didn't. They're like, oh, no, you got to be exact in this one. We're like, what? Are you kidding? Like
that question is what was Kevin allergic to when Angela makes brownies. And we were like, we're pretty sure it's walnuts.
Right.
We're pretty sure it's walnuts. Or is it just nuts? Or was it peanuts? So I think it was walnuts. And then we go, well, let's just put nuts because they've been giving all kinds of crazy loose answers the whole time. And they're like, you have to say exactly walnuts after we turned our card in. And we're like, you have to be kidding us. And we lost that by 1 point. So anyways, we need to move on, but we could complain about that all night.
Yeah. Let's go back. You know what? Let's go through this question by question.
Let's run through the whole night.
It was a muggy April evening. Okay. So, yeah.
All right. So question 13. Okay. Now, I think my last two questions are difficult. And so they're not like traditional-ish questions. And so I think they're going to be hard on you, but I think you'll get this one. We'll see. Okay. Question 13. This Corellian G9 Rigger class light freighter was used by Anakin and Ahsoka to escape from Teth.
Yeah, absolutely. Prep for this one. Yeah, that's
I don't want the model. I want the name of the ship.
The name of the ship. Yep, the old bucket of bolts, right?
I want the name of the old bucket of bolts. That's right.
Yeah, Pops just said there was 22 teams of 3, and he was 3 by himself and then took it. I think he said like somewhere people were giving him weird looks and stuff. That's great, man. Because again, in the chat for it's been weeks now of Popsith being by far like one of the strongest competitor. Again, overall, every now and then we've had people who pop in who can show real depth in a particular area that they've clearly are very familiar with. But for overall trivia knowledge, which is what you need if you're in a competition, you'd rather have overall knowledge. Popsith has been the strongest. So that's just so good to hear, man. That's awesome. Yep. So I do know the answer to this one.
You know the answer to this one. I'm going to crack my beer. That's what we do in this channel. We drink beer while we talk Star Wars.
Because that's the way to do it, man. If you like beer and you like Star Wars, then Why not combine the two? It's just
We're
like
for
if
you.
it's like if you like peanut butter and you like Chinese food, why not just put them together, right? I mean, it's just a perfect combination. And if you're
And then
not
watch
doing
us.
that, exactly, because it's just combining all of your favorite things: peanut butter,
exactly.
Chinese food, and the BookBarBros. So the answer to this, Justin, I believe, is the Twilight. What is the Twilight?
Yes, that is correct. It is.
Hey, you
the
actually
Twilight.
got me a few times here, making me nervous. Again, this isn't, it's not like Revenge of the Sith that I've seen 6 million times to where I'd be like, oh, okay, I know that's the correct answer, Justin. This one, I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's the Twilight. So your faces are throwing me for a loop.
That's good. I'm glad that I'm getting you with those. So you are down to 2 questions in the Jedi Master round, and the bonus. The bonus is, with this movie, it was a little more difficult, and so the bonus, I think, is easy. It is not as difficult as we have sometimes made the bonus. I actually went through some of our old videos. The bonuses were easy, and then we started to make them hard, and then we started to make them impossible. And so I know I ran it back. It's supposed to be kind of fun and hard, but I ran it back for this movie a little bit.
Yeah, what we did is, kind of what we planned on doing for the second time through is, we wanted to go through it the first time and make it tough and challenging. We didn't want people to just get a perfect round without really earning it. Right. But at the same time, didn't want to kill each other for the first time through. Because again, this is our preparation for trivia. We don't know everything yet. Our goal is to know everything by doing these streams with all of you to try to keep prepping for trivia. But then I think kind of getting egged on by the chat and then just being competitive with each other, we started doing everything we could to try to stop the person
very
getting
quickly.
Questions right.
Yeah, that happened very quickly.
And the bonus questions and even some of the master questions got unbelievably hard, super quick. But then we eased back for some of the newer movies. So Solo and Clone Wars here and stuff. We tried to ease back, but then obviously we're going back into the prequels and the originals and stuff like that soon here. So it's going to be right back in the thick of it. But although for Spaceballs next week, I'm going to bring fire, man. It's just, these are going to be the hardest, deepest pulls you have ever seen. And I can honestly be pretty tough on some of these because we've actually seen Spaceballs a lot. So there are lots of questions I could ask right now that are semi-deep, like maybe Jedi Master level, that I think I could even put Padawan for you because you're just gonna know those. Yeah, maybe. I also haven't seen that movie probably in 8 or 10 years, and it's not free to stream anywhere, and I don't have it, so I'm gonna have to pay. I'm gonna have to pay for it to watch it again. But anyways, same thing. I had that on Laserdisc, just like
you had it on Laserdisc,
and I just lost it, and we don't have a good Laserdisc shop around here.
Big package.
So
all right, let's get moving.
Okay.
Question 14. I think this might be the hardest question. During the opening narration, it is said that these 2 things have spread throughout the galaxy as the innocent become victims in a lawless galaxy. These 2 things have spread.
I was hoping you would ask me the opening line. That's about all I prepped for that opening. Galaxy divided. I knew that because that's the first thing that he says. Oh, God, I didn't prep anything else for that opening. Oh man, I'm kind of getting these very vague ideas.
Well, you can take some time, think about it for a minute.
Maybe what spreads. I mean, obviously. No.
So, let's see here. Unboxing Treasure says peanut butter and jelly.
That's called a callback. That's what we call that.
That is called a callback.
Although I mentioned peanut butter and Chinese food.
Ray has popped in just in time to give you the best answer of the day. COVID and rabies. COVID and rabies have spread across the galaxy.
Yeah, peanut butter and Chinese food, COVID and rabies. I mean, both things that just go hand in hand with each other. What's going on, Ray?
Wait a second. Templar says Spaceballs is rocking at $100 on eBay. Are you serious? Like a cassette copy of Spaceballs just sold for $100? Wow. I'm pretty sure our dad has one, but it's VHS, and like I assume he has a VHS player.
Yeah, he's got one, and he kept a lot of his VHS that
he did.
Except what's unfortunate, our dad was we're obviously big movie fans in general because our dad was a huge movie buff too. He collected movies, and so like had literally thousands and thousands of VHS movies to where people, all of our neighborhood friends and family members would always borrow them. My dad would have a list and stuff, keeping track of who has what, and had them all in alphabetical order and stuff. But then their basement flooded one time, and he lost a ton of VHS, and that's the problem with VHS, right? I mean, they just kind of go bad. If something happens to him, it's done. He lost a ton of movies, but I think he still has Spaceballs. But the problem is it's really old. We watched it a million times. It's probably not in great shape, so it's going to be a very worn, well used, but also very much enjoyed copy. So I wonder how much something like that would go for.
I think I'll just pay the $4 to stream it.
Yeah.
Opset says War and Unrest.
I mean, man, if I'm going to go with something, because that's kind of what I was thinking, right? It's like, it's just going to be, it's going to be turmoil. It's going to be war. It's going to be, so the fact that he says War and Unrest, I'm not entirely sure.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little hint to see if it helps. I'll give you a little hint. It is an alliterative answer.
War and warts.
Oh no, he just reasoned himself into the right answer.
Man. War and the Weary Drearies.
Weary Dreary. Last hint, it is not war.
Okay, I was just going to ask Opset, like, are we sure it's war? Like, maybe...
No, it is not. It is not war. It is not W. That's your last hint. Alliterative, and it is not war.
Yeah, I don't think... I only prepped a single thing for the opening.
I told you I was going to make this my last question because I thought this would be, if you had really studied the opening narration, I thought you could get it. But I thought this would be like the hardest question of the round.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Man, I'm just not sure. Turmoil and tinfoil.
That's a good one. It is alliterative. So see. Yeah, Unboxing Treasures knows what alliterative means, so he's already there. TNT, turmoil and tinfoil.
Well, we've talked about it last stream, and so that must be where it was. They couldn't have learned about alliteration in previous streams.
Never. Well, normally the definitions we give are trash, as Frederick has pointed out.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say that we give, but Frederick is very legit when he points out how we...
Frederick is legit, yes.
Yeah.
We are not.
Okay, I don't know.
Are you forfeiting this question? Are you ready for your... Okay, I'm going to try to give it away over the top. This is good viewing. If a galaxy is lawless, what is there a lot of in the galaxy?
Lawbreakers.
Well, that's true. And what are they committing?
Crimes.
The answer is crimes and chaos.
Crimes and chaos.
Crimes.
I would not have come up with it. Right. I remember now that you say that.
Spread throughout the galaxy as innocent become victims in a lawless galaxy.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough to be able to pull that. That's a good question.
Lawlessness, with the crime, I thought maybe that would get you there. I wasn't sure. But I knew the opening narration. I was like, he would have had to have listened to that or read that multiple times. And if he did, maybe it would stick out. But I had fully expected, if you got one wrong, this to be it. I fully expected this to be the question.
I wasn't sure if you'd use it. Again, there's always so much to prep. You have to kind of focus on some things. I did remember one thing. I was like, maybe he'll ask me like what the opening line of the narration was. And so I had that ready. But yeah, crime and chaos.
Yes, he Popsith even said he had to look it up. It's crime and chaos. Yep.
All right. Well, I missed one. So
you're still 13 for 14 in the Clone Wars. Doing great. Only one more question here before the bonus. Are you ready?
Yeah, but now, what's going to be on the line next time? Now that I've won your house, right? I mean, you're literally renting out the basement.
I am. And now I think it's only fair that you put something up for me if I get a perfect round. I think that's the only fair way to do it.
Okay, how about this? It's a new tissue box.
Ooh.
It's got a blue design.
Blue and white, jagged lines. I like that.
Different shades of blue. Very
now,
solid.
How soft? How many ply is that tissue? Is it really soft?
Oh, dude, this is quality ply.
Lotion? Lotion? Does they have lotion?
Say no lotion, because I like my nose to feel dry after I buy. I don't want to get lotion all over and have it still feel slimy. But I'm telling you, dude, this is a dream. It's like wiping your nose with silk. It's probably 3/4 of the way full. So that's
I'll think about it. I think it's fair, but I'll think about it. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Here is your last question. This elite military unit of clone troopers who served during the 501st Legion during the Battle of Christophsis was led by clone Captain CT 7567. You may know him as Rex. This elite military unit served in the 501st Legion.
This elite military unit of clone troopers who served in the 501st Legion during the Battle of Christophsis was led by clone captain. Oh, so it's like a unit within the 501st?
Yes. And so here's a hint I will give you. It's not a number. Okay. So if you think about The Rise of Skywalker, Janna talks about her crew belonging to a military unit, and this military unit has a very similar name.
Man, I'm not ready for this. Knowing Rex, I knew his clone captain number. I could have told you. I would have called him CC 7567 because he's a clone commander at this point, right? 7567. I could have told you he led the 501st. This military unit of clone troopers.
His unit served in the 501st, but it's Rex's unit. And so to give you,
they're a ground force.
So, to give you an example, right, is they don't have to be numerical, but they can be. Janna's group was called Company 77 from The Rise of Skywalker, if you recall. It doesn't mean they have to be a number. In fact, Rex's does not have a number, but it's a company. It's a name. It's this company, basically.
Okay. I got a couple of guesses, I guess, but they're just going to be guesses.
We can give the chat a second here.
It could be.
So, Jedi John says 99, and I want to say, is that the Bad Batches? Is that what the Bad Batch is? They're Clone Force 99 or Company 99? I think that's what, the Bad Batch is.
Yeah, gosh, I'm just not sure. Like I said, I have...
Ahsoka Tano, hello there. General Kenobi. Yeah, I think you have to say that it's against the law if you don't say General Kenobi.
Yeah, they always say that's the way to test if someone is truly Star Wars fan. You say, oh, you're a Star Wars fan. That's great. Well, hello there. And if they say, hi, how are you? Then
you're not a Star Wars fan.
No.
So Ray says Tesla company. Pop Sith says Torrent.
How, on a scale?
Ahsoka says Battalion 99.
I have no idea the credibility of Ahsoka Tano. In this movie, she really comes off as a hothead who could just be coming in here messing with me.
A real smart mouth.
So she's a bit snippy.
She is very snippy.
There's probably a good nickname in there for Pippi or something. I don't know.
I was going to curse. I don't want to do that.
So I don't know. Pop Sith, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in Torrent?
There you go, Pop Sith. Pop Sith in the chat. Tyler wants to know. You said Torrent, and he wants to know how confident you are in this answer.
You know what? I guess I'm going to go
1 to 10, 10 being most confident.
You know what? I might just have to go with it because I'm realizing some of the other some of the other things I'm thinking of, like units and clone trooper units, all have numbers in them. But you're telling me this doesn't have a number?
Correct. I did confirm that. The same way that I said Jana's unit was Company 77. This one is a company, but it is not a numerical company. He says he's 6.6 out of 10. Sure.
Okay, well, that's better than Chance, right? That's better than Chance. So he's 6.6. And, if I would have gone with him earlier, he would have led me astray. But maybe this time he's trying to redeem himself.
Maybe he is.
I'll go with Torrent. What is Torrent?
Torrent is unfortunately the correct answer. Pops did it this time. It is Torrent Company. Torrent Company is absolutely the correct answer. Well done. Well done. Nice. And well done, Tyler, in deciphering who you can and cannot trust in the chat.
I told you.
As you said during the explanation, we have to sift through if we want help because you never know. You never know what people are telling you.
Yeah, but you came through on that one, Pop Sith. Well done, buddy.
Yes, Ray totally knew it as well. I completely agree.
Believe that.
Yes.
Has Ray? I don't think Ray's ever steered us astray, has he? I don't think so.
No, never. Yeah.
And just as I suspected, Ahsoka Tano was indeed playing games.
Ahsoka was.
This is clearly a young Ahsoka Tano who's just trying to play with me here.
Omega has taken Crosshair's place. I know it sure seems that way. Or Omega. If it's Omega or the child, which is like a new meme that's going around, I'll take the child. I'm just saying. I like Omega too, but I'll take the child. So yes, here we go. It's last call. Tyler, you went 14 for 15 in the Clone Wars in the standard rounds. Well done. Cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to all of you out there. Whatever you're drinking, beer, wine, liquor, I guess non-alcoholic stuff is fine too. Cheers to you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Let's do some drinking before we get to the bonus and wrap this thing.
I tried water once, but it wasn't for me. So I haven't tried it again. It's just beer the rest of the way. Yeah,
because you don't need water. Like, humans don't need water. So it's like, why am I going to drink water if humans don't need water?
No, I've tested this. I can drink beer every day, and I'm just fine as long as I keep drinking. Now, if I stop, there's problems. But as long as I just keep going.
Like, your body gets shaky and you get very irritable. But that's just humans. That's just how humans work.
Right. And that's just your body saying, no, this was a good thing. And so you need to keep this going or I'll die. Right. And
you get it. I get it. They get it. Yes.
If only the rest of our family got it and they'd stop having these dang interventions. Like, come on.
What a waste of time this is. People just don't understand science.
Right. I know. That's the problem.
All right, there's last call. Let's move right on to the final question, bonus question.
All right, let's do it.
This is a 3-parter. Again, it's a very gettable bonus question. Very gettable bonus question.
Okay.
I would not be surprised if Tyler could rattle these right off. Boom, 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 and be done with it. Tyler, here's your bonus. 3 actors from the live-action films voice their same characters in this film. Name all 3.
Whoa. I am throwing up a flag here. Justin and I have had a long-standing agreement. What is this? Are you serious?
Yeah. I am very serious. So
we've had a long. No. Like I can think of 2 right off the bat. I think maybe I have it.
You probably. Well, that's why I said you're probably going to get all 3. I had a hard time coming up with a good bonus question for this one. And so here we go. Now, typically, Tyler and I like to keep everything within movie, which means we don't ask like who the director was.
Typically, we always do and have had a long-standing agreement that for this first time through, there would be no references to anything outside of the movie. Now that, but we mean like within the story. So like we've asked tons of questions that you can only find in other literature, individual dictionaries, yada, yada. But we meant no actors, no producers, no yada, yada, no voice actors. That's not until the next round where we start getting more into that. This is absolute hogwash.
Oh, I disagree. This is not hogwash. I think it's a very fair and a very easy question.
This is Bush League. Now, I will get it correct, but that doesn't mean that this is fair, given the rules that we set forth when we first initiated this game. But
so, do you know the answer?
I do. Christopher Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, and Anthony Daniels.
That is correct.
There we go.
So that is
doesn't
correct.
matter that he tried to foil me.
I thought about saying, just name all of them and not telling you how many there were. But then I thought, no, because typically this is outside the realm of what we would do. And I admit that. But again, it's the Clone Wars. And, it's not one you and I have seen a ton. And again, I'm trying to go back and think of a good multi-layered leveled bonus question, which I would feel no problems going back, on Revenge of the Sith or Attack of the Clones and going deep cut and asking you lots of things. I didn't feel comfortable doing it in this movie. So I thought, this would be a fair way to introduce, the actor-ish element to our game.
Well, the one I thought of, if I were asking the questions, this is one that I was prepped for because I'm like, same thing. I was kind of having a hard time because you try to predict what the person's going to do for a bonus.
Well, and you just want to know voice actors in the animated movie anyways, because sure. Schmodown asks that all the time.
Well, that's why we said on next round we would do it. but yeah, sure, we want to know these things. But I was thinking okay, what would I do for a bonus? And I had a thought, name 3 Jedi generals, name their second in command, their clone commander, and then name both their colloquial name, their designated name, and the group they oversee. That's what I would have given you.
Whoa,
and I would have done either 3 or 4 of them. And I think that would have been a good one. See, I thought that would have been a good one. And so I prepped for that. And have all these Jedi generals, all the clone commanders, all their.
You need to know them all anyway. So well done. It's good prep.
Of course, it just helps us regardless. But okay,
you got 14 out of 15 and the bonus in the Clone Wars.
Oh, I'll take it, man.
The animated movie. Well done. You sniped a couple in there I didn't expect you to get, but you did very, very well.
And I did have one assist from Pop Sith, but one time where he also tried to sabotage me. So it was a very balanced.
That's true. It balanced itself.
He brought balance to the Force with that last one. So thank you, Pop.
He did. Well, yes, right. There's always 2. Always 2 there are. No more, no less. One question one way, one the other. That's the way it works. So, Ray, obviously, we all know Ray knew it.
I still don't think Ray's ever seen Star Wars. I'm pretty sure he never has.
That's right, Ahsoka. It is the actor who plays C-3PO, which is, again, Tyler.
Anthony Daniels, of course.
Daniels is
also
correct.
The only one to appear in every single Star Wars including, was also in Solo.
As a different character.
As a different character. He played an escaped slave. But
I can't remember what the name...
Tak, I want to say.
I was going to say Taft. I was going to say something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. It was something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Another really good one to know for deep dive in trivia.
Yeah.
But all right.
Well, that's it. That's it, everybody. So thanks so much for watching. Now, before we sign off, as always, we get into Tyler's signature sign off. It has become, as we said earlier, a staple of the channel. Everyone hangs out, and people who don't like Star Wars trivia watch these videos just for Tyler's signature sign off. Tyler, what have you got planned for us today?
Well, Justin, I mean, as you know, I'm always honing my Force abilities, right? My Force powers. And lately I've been working on my ability to move objects with the Force. And to practice, I thought we could recreate one of the most beloved and endearing scenes in all of Star Wars. Do you maybe have an inkling of what scene that might be?
One of the most beloved of all time. I assume you're talking about Attack of the Clones, Anakin and Padme, when Anakin force floats the pair. I think we have a picture here, right? Yes,
There it is.
that has to
Exactly.
be the scene you're talking about. Am I right?
Everybody loves that scene. Everybody
loves it.
Famous
Everybody
scene.
loves that scene.
Seems
Yes,
totally
of course.
necessary.
Of course.
And so I thought, hey, why don't I do that? And just as a way to practice my force abilities, right?
Okay.
And just
Yeah,
it's
sure.
actually not a pear. It's called it's an exotic shura fruit. And I have one right here.
Fruit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I have
Oh,
one right
wow.
here. And then I
That looks
think
really good.
yeah, and so I told you to grab a fork, and so now that might be a little more clear as to why I asked you to do
Yes,
that.
I did.
Do you have a
Oh,
fork with
I
you?
see what you're doing now. Yeah. Okay. So I have my fork. Yes.
Exactly. Okay. So now
Okay.
what I'm going to do is we're going to recreate that scene. I'm going to float the pear over to you and feed you in just as romantic of a way as they did.
What
in that. Sure.
What
we're
a
brothers,
moment for
but
two
hey.
brothers to share. Well,
Right.
What a moment for two brothers to share. This is fantastic.
Right.
Okay.
But, we're recreating the scene here.
Yeah.
So let me give this a try here.
Okay. So let's see. So I got my fork. You're gonna float this like through the camera to me with the force.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so awesome. Okay, I'm ready. I got my fork. I'm so excited.
I've been working.
And
Okay,
you got-
hold on.
Okay. Oh, I can see it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing. This is
Okay.
incredible. Okay,
Here we
I'm
go.
ready.
I'm getting it.
I'm ready.
Oh
Yep.
man, if Master Obi-Wan caught me doing this, he'd be very grumpy.
Oh, he'd be very grumpy.
Okay, are
Okay.
you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, it's coming your way. Here we go.
Okay. I missed my face. Well, there you have it, folks.
there
One
it
of the most beloved
Oh,
scenes in
man.
Star Wars history.
We were
Attack of the Clones.
We were so close. We
Damn
almost had it.
Damn it.
I told you, Joe. Though,
You
Justin,
have more work to do. You have more work to do.
I've been practicing. I didn't say I've mastered it, so I missed the fork. Sorry about that. We'll get it next time, guys. But thank you all for being here. And as always, have a great night.
Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you next week for Spaceballs.